Monday, June 9th, 2:58 p.m. New York time. Welcome back, investors, to Winning Wall Street's Money. That's right, you heard me say June 9th. We're halfway through the year already. We're almost in the mid-month of the month of June. I'm going to go over commodities. Commodities are priced in the US dollar. If you looked at my past videos that I've been sharing, the US dollar is trending near the lows of the year. The US dollar is bearish. That being said, you have a United States Congress controlled by the same parties on both sides, House and Senate. And you have the same party that controls Congress controlling the White House. Of course, they're not keeping to their campaign promises. They're raising government spending, raising the deficit, having people lose confidence of the US dollar. So typically, inverse dollar has more bullish towards commodities. That has an impact on people's lifestyles, cost of living. This is a 5-year chart of the US dollar index. Currently for the week, first day of the week, it's Monday. We have not taken out the high or low of last week. But look here on the top center, the high of the year. Look here down the bottom center, the low of the year. Yeah, the dollar is bearish. If you haven't known that already, what rock have you been under? The struggle is terrible. Let's go into commodities now. Some insight. There's several categories in commodities. One of them being metals, one being energy, another one being agricultural, another one being livestock. Yep, the commodities. I'm going to show you some of them, not every single one. The main commodities in this society. Look at energy first. Crude oil. Again, 5-year chart. Look at the top left, crude oil, the high, the year 2022. And the low all the way down here on the left. Well, this year, see this small trading range? Here's the high of the year, 2025. Here's the low this year, 2025. Twice we came down to the low this year. Buyers stepped in here. People are speculating. Prices will go higher. The prices have gone higher since there. Yep. Accumulation, smart money buying. Did you buy gold? Are you in bullish gold positions? Last week, huge bullish engulfing candle. See this candle? There's an impulse move up, very strong body, and already broke above it this week. And we're not even in the summer months yet. We're not even in the summer months yet where oil typically is higher priced. Natural gas, bottom left, the low of the past 5 years, and the top center, the high. Last week was an inside candle, bullish candle. This week, we're inside that range. Huge consolidation over here, building energy for the next breakout trend. Yeah, call this accumulation down here. Accumulation, smart money was buying. A lot of whipsaw here. And still having buyers stepping in here. This green zone for accumulation. Great opportunities for bullish strategies. That was one category of commodities, energy. You go look on your own time, look at coal and whale oil. Wink, wink. I'm going to go on to the metals now. Five years of history, gold. Yep, this year, all-time high here, gold. Here's the low this year. Huge trading range. This is a huge trend. This is market structure too. This was all accumulation with distribution, accumulation on the bottoms, markup run. Look, this is a trend, A to B, B to C, C to D. One would expect a pullback. The opportunity, if you're bullish, to buy on the pullback. Well, right here, see these big wicks? Big candle, red candle, big green candle, wick. You have smart money selling up there. Lower highs. Apparently, no one's willing to speculate, to risk money to buy at these highs yet. Again, we may still have a retest. So the current candle for this week is green, but we already took out the low of last week. All in one day. Yeah. Again, this was a nice impulse move up candle here. Had that inside candle retest. And huge consolidation up here. Very interesting if we're going to have a deeper pullback. Again, some of that probably has to do with the pending Federal Reserve meeting this month. I mentioned several times past weeks. Will the Fed leave interest rates unchanged, or will they change them? That was gold. Silver, look at this. Right off the bat, all-time new high. Silver is more bullish than gold. All-time new high. Look at that. Outstanding. This week, today, Monday, gold took out the high of last week. Gold made a new high. Sorry. Silver. I apologize. Let me say again. Silver made the all-time new high. I must have got excited and confused. Drink more water. The struggle's real. Okay. Well, look at this past 5 years here. Distribution, markdown, coming to accumulation, higher high accumulation. Yeah, silver has been bullish, but we know gold has been performing better. But now silver is performing better. Big difference. Again, look at gold here. It's in accumulation. Sorry, gold is in a consolidation with what I'm interpreting as sellers here at this point in time. Money's flowing into silver. Last week, that huge impulse move up, very strong green candle here, making that new high, followed by another new high. Remember, they're not just used for jewelry, these metals, for infrastructure, for technology. Yeah, give an example. Copper, all these EVs, electric charging cars, they are using copper in those utility lines to charge them. So again, as you have more demand for that infrastructure, you want to expect the higher copper prices. Again, gold and silver also used for technology and high tech. I mentioned that in my past videos, spelling out very clearly what those other metals are used for. Industrial. Now we're looking at platinum. Here's the high for the past 5 years on the top left. And this week, we made a new high for the year, taking out the high of 2022. Yep, it's been a long run. But this metal, again, all-time new high for the year, taking out the high of 2022. And that last week, huge impulse move up, green candle. Wow, strong. Metal commodities are strong. And copper. Here's a high for the year. Here's a low for the year. Inside candle for the week, small trading range. Again, nobody's on the dance floor with copper. They're all going to silver and platinum. Interesting. Yep. All right. We just did energy, commodity. We did metals, commodity. Let's go on to the food, agricultural grains. And there's a wide variety. Again, grains. The key word is grains. Corn is a grain. Bottom left, the low past 5 years. Top high the past 5 years. Corn is declining right now for this year, trending down. Here's the high for the year. We did break the high of last year, then we sold off. Again, corn has a huge usage for human food consumption, animal feed, and for mixed in ethanols. Yep. Some businesses and countries use corn, some use sugarcane, maybe some others. So again, corn has wide usage. Also that nasty fructose corn syrup. Rough rice. Yep, here's the low for the past 5 years. Here's the high. Double bottom down here this year. Of course, buyers stepped in the second time. Sweet spot to be buying. And now it's trending up. Rice, again, that will have a huge impact on many cultures. Wheat. Here's the high for the past 5 years. Look at that, all the way up there, the low, the bottom left. And look at this huge consolidation down here. Nearly the past 3 years, double bottoms, buyers stepping in on the dip. Have you bought a bullish position? Interesting. Soybean oil. Yep. Here's the high for the past 5 years. Here's the low. And currently, we're in this consolidation since the end of that year. Again, but we're making higher lows. People are buying on the dip. They're speculating it's going higher. Soybean oil. Soybean meal. Very close to the lows. Look at that. Very interesting here. Big consolidation. Last year was at low. And before we got there, buyers stepped in it. So look here. Huge consolidation. Why is it falling out of favor? Soybean meal. And soybean. Again, same thing. Huge consolidation out here for the past 2 years. Are you bullish or bearish? Opportunities. Let's go on to the other commodity, livestock. Are you a vegan? Are you vegetarian? You may want to turn away and not see this. Live cattle. Last week made the all-time high. Yep. Strong like bull. All-time new high. This week, inside candle, just today, Monday. Last week, strong bullish candle again. Live cattle, your steak, your hamburger is costing more money. There's a lot of embedded costs that go into live cattle, feeding the live cattle, the transportation of the live cattle. Again, it's part of the embedded cost of the product. You might want to start raising cattle on your property and getting a lot of money for the heads. Yep, nice. Support your local cattle farmer. Feeder cattle, just like it says, slaughter the cattle and it's used as feeder. Again, all-time new high this year. Look at that. Nice. Or again, live cattle was last week all-time new high. Inside candle for this week. And feeder cattle already broke out of the high of last year. Sorry, of last week, making an all-time new high. A lot of commodities we just saw here making all-time new highs for the year and some making all-time new highs for the 5 years. Well underlooked financial sector commodities. Lean hog. New high for the year. Today, we broke out of the high of last week. New high for the year. Lean hog. May want to go buy some Nathan hot dogs now before your 4th of July Independence holiday meal. Thank you as always, spending just a little time with me. That's it for the video. Thank you for watching.